Welcome to the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bias, live on YouTube on a Tuesday. We here, y'all. We here. We are 43 subscribers away from that 200. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment to join the discussion. We will greatly appreciate it. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket, providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sidelines, taking them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty. It's the second half of the year, man. Miami Heat. How we feeling?
Hey, man. You know we don't want to turn it on, and Jimmy's ready. The boys are ready, but we'll get there when we get there. But after All-Star break, that's when the Miami Heat actually start heating up. So to speak. Mm-hmm.
We also got your favorite DJ, Sample Man himself, Mr. Tesh Kid 2. What's good?
Shady, I was gonna be on your ass, dog, if you ain't bring up like a heating up heat reference. Like, come on, dog. I was gonna be on you. Way to connect that, because I was gonna get you, dog. What's going on, fellas?
Too easy, man. Let's get right into it, man. We got a stacked show today, man. We got, of course, NBA trivia. We're gonna run through the news across the league. There have been a lot of tussles and squabbling going on in the league as well, too. So we'll get into that, and then we'll close it out with our X factors for the top 6 teams in the East and the West. She's telling me a timeout. I'll give you a timeout.
Do people know what that means, though? Squabbling.
We'll get into it, but
sure.
it's some tussling and some pushing, some shoving. A lot going on these past 2 weeks since All-Star break kind of passed, but we'll get into that. But first, let's hop into NBA trivia. Took, what you got?
Absolutely, bro. I actually want to do 2 questions with y'all. One to be NBA and one to be non-NBA. So the NBA trivia, of course, I found this one. I was like, this will be funny for the fellas. So what player in NBA history has scored 20 points with 1 field goal? Again, there's a player in NBA history with 2 minutes on the clock. Again, a player in NBA history, 1 field goal, meaning he went 1 for whatever, but he still finished the game with 20 points.
Shaq.
Time starts now. It's not Shaq.
Yeah,
let me know what y'all want here. You get 3 hints.
Okay.
Jabbar, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
No, he's not a big man.
Not a big man. Okay.
AI. Jesus.
No.
Who wants to free throw line a lot?
This player played in 2007.
Okay. What conference?
The West.
The West. Played 2007. Obviously, he was getting to the line. 2007. Okay, not a big man. Kobe?
30 more seconds. No, it was not Kobe. 30 seconds, I give you the team, and we can move on. But no, it was not Kobe.
Team?
He was a guard. He was not an All-Star.
Not an All-Star, okay. What team?
Y'all got the Kings.
Peja Stojakovic?
It was not Stojakovic.
He was an All-Star. Shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't a damn. Who on the Kings in 07?
Bobby Jackson?
No, it was not Bobby Jackson.
Mike Bibby.
Nope, he played with Mike Bibby though. 20 more seconds.
Doug Christie.
It was not Doug Christie.
Chris Webber.
Vladdy.
It was 2007. 10 seconds though.
God, I do not know.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank after Bobby Jackson off the bench.
It's gonna get y'all. 5 seconds left. It's gonna get you.
Turkoglu?
It was not Turkoglu. It was Kevin Martin.
Kevin Martin. Oh, senior. That's last shot, man.
Kevin Martin. Kevin Martin. Yeah, with the ugly shot, he went 1 for like 6. There we go. Trev got it. I don't know if he Googled it, but shout out to Trev.
We don't know.
But shout out to
him. Say, hey, Candy.
All right, nah.
You late, Candy.
Hey, Sour Patch.
You late, man. Hey, hold on. You late to the show.
What up, Sour Patch? But Kevin Martin. So
no Google.
All right, shout out to Trevor. I trust his word. Okay. And question number 2, of course, if y'all hadn't seen it already, Avatar is the best show on Netflix so far, even though we saw it as kids. And I just wanted to ask you, gentlemen, if you can have the 4 bending powers, which would you have?
Can we say lightning? Because Azula be shooting that giant, man.
That'll be fire. I'm
gonna do fire then, man. Because
okay.
Azula crazy, but she be shooting that giant.
Yeah.
I gotta go with water, man. Water is in 3 different substances. The science in me.
True.
So I'm gonna say water.
She even be blood bending in this giant.
Love it. Shoot, man. I was gonna go water. I was gonna go fire, but I guess I gotta go air.
Okay.
I guess I gotta go air. It's just like if I could have any type of superpower, I want super speed, and I know like with the air, I'd be able to get off on them.
Get
So
there.
yeah, I'll be able to fly. I'll be able to do some pretty cool things. So, but of course, I do want to be like in the water. And shout out to the Grizzlies for trading Steven Adams because now I get my nickname back.
Aquaman.
You got it.
I got it.
Every time you remind me you swam in high school, I just be like, bro, that's so random. That's just, so random.
What did you do? Like, what was the event?
So I did. I got in my sophomore year. I got third place in the city for doing a 500.
And that was like,
yeah. So that was like going back down like 20 times. Swear to God.
No, exactly. No.
So that I mean that's what I like, and it was like just me just getting out. But I took forever. I ain't gonna lie, this shit took forever today.
For people to understand that's a little bit over a quarter of a mile, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that he swam.
Hell no.
Over a quarter.
I wasn't the quick. I wasn't like the boom, boom, boom. Nah, that wasn't me. I was more of like a distance person. So yeah.
Okay, I feel you on that then.
Yeah.
500
meter freestyle.
I gotta watch Avatar. I'm gonna watch that at some point. And I'll rap with you about it. All right. NBA news for the week, man. So like I said, we got a stack show, man. I'm gonna try to run through all these topics, but NBA news for the week. First topic of discussion: the LA Clippers have, for some reason, announced their new jerseys mid-season. I don't think I've ever seen that before. From a franchise to announce it in the middle of the season. Like, you still get your old jerseys on right now and your old logo, but I guess part of it would be that they are unveiling their new arena in Inglewood, and they've showcased the new jerseys. I actually like these jerseys, man. They kind of tight. They're simple. The colors are solid, aside from them looking like the Wizards, low key. And the logo, I actually am fine with the logo as well too, man, because a clipper is not a set of clippers to cut your hair, man. It's an actual boat. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm today's years old.
Not the Clippers, bro.
Okay. I know it ain't had nothing to do with hair, but I ain't had nothing to do with boats. Like, that's right.
So what is the clipper then? What's the clipper then? Aside from a boat,
some shit you use to play your hair.
That's the only option. B is option A. That's all he knew.
That's all I knew.
But you're not the only one, though. Too. There's others.
Fingernail clippers, toenail clippers.
Hey, Molly put out a tweet. Who works for Bleacher Report? She's a Memphis Grizzlies fan. She put out a tweet that had a logo of the actual like fingernail clippers as the logo for the team.
Oh wow!
Shout out to Molly, man.
Yeah,
but
yeah, man. They got New Jersey, man. How y'all feel about
them? They're definitely better than those Braves jerseys that they had at one time. Didn't they have like a Braves, those ugly ones?
Like
I know, orange and black, whatever it was. I'm with it. Like you said, it's simple. I mean, I feel like NBA teams get like 7 different jerseys to wear every season.
Yeah.
So okay, but this don't. Hey, I picked y'all to go to the championship this year, so maybe this is what it is.
We'll see. I like it, and for the simple fact, it's just simple. Keep it about basketball. And I do like the darker blue too. Definitely seeing like the Showtime. Well, I can't even say. I feel disrespect the Lakers.
Showtime.
The Lob City Clippers. There we go. The Lob City Clippers. They were known for their lighter blue, so I do like this darker blue scheme in the Inglewood as well. So,
and that powder blue was tough, man.
I like the color scheme. They're gonna have to do something with it. This can't just be like the regular. Like, they're gonna have to turn it up. But I like the color scheme.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next up in NBA news. Speaking of Clippers, if you watched the game yesterday, the Pistons and the Knicks, Dante DiVincenzo literally clipped who was that? Osor Thompson. So let's look at that clip real quick.
Oh, he throws it away. Ball loose, picked up by Brunson. Brunson inside the Hart. Hart's banks it in. And a foul. Knicks take the lead. Monty Williams is furious. He thought a foul should have been called. There was so much.
So yeah, man, I play it again. But the Pistons were up in that game, and Osor Thompson stole the ball, and then DiVincenzo kind of attacked him and got the ball back, get to Brunson, pass it to Hart, and then you got a layup right there. So the the buzz around Twitter and social media is that because Asur Thompson didn't have possession of the ball, that was not a foul. But what do y'all think about that?
Play the clip one more time because I'm finna debunk that right now.
10 seconds ago, he throws it away. Ball loose, picked up by Brunson. Brunson inside the Hart.
As he was grabbing it, he was literally about to bounce. So screw all that. He had, and even if he didn't have possession of the ball, that is called an off-ball foul, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know the game of basketball, is when a player fouls you without having the ball. He clipped him. He tackled him. Make the call. Like, this just, like, I know the Pistons ain't a good team this year. I get it, but you have a job to do as an NBA ref. And situations like this make it worse for us, for fans like us that just want to see a decent game. Like, this trash, bro. He damn near tackled him. He
did tackle him.
So regardless of he had the ball or not, called a damn foul because he was about to, and he stole the ball. Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro.
Listen, I'll put it to you like this. 2 things were wrong in this entire clip. One, it should have been a foul call. If Jalen Brunson got tackled like that, there would have been a foul call.
It'd been foul easily, yeah.
So I would have been a favorite.
It might have been, right? So I think that's one point of emphasis is, he's just not getting the calls. But that was really a blatant call, and the ref wasn't. It's not like he was far away, didn't see it happening. You saw it happening, and the ref came back after the game and said, "Hey, I missed the call." You know what else called that was bad? Actually, the foul. Jalen Duren went straight up. To be honest, he didn't come down or anything. He went straight up. So it shouldn't have been a foul call there, even though he made the field goal. And the Knicks are still up by 1. But still, I think there was a bad call on Duren for that. But overall, horrible officiating that we've seen in the NBA. I don't want to say just this year. I say in the past couple of years. Realistically, we've seen
the Lakers last year, and they apologized for it.
Pat Bev had the camera.
Yeah.
So like, I'm officiating. They're getting anyone to wear the stripes, and anyone's getting paid to do $500,000 worth of work. You can sign me up because I guess I can get calls wrong and still be okay. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And all the Pistons gonna get is a letter. Sorry guys, we messed up, and that's all the Pistons gonna get.
Like, imagine this shit happened in the playoffs, bro. Ooh, I'd be hot. You would be hard pressed to find any team, any coach that would not be protesting that right now. Like, I know they get 9 wins, but like, as a coach, as a team, like, just for morale, I need that win, bro. Like, I need to feel good about myself. I've lost 40-something games this whole season. Let me get one. Let me get one right now, bro. They had an 18-20 game losing streak early in the season, bro.
27?
Yeah, something crazy. Like, wins are hard to come by. So I need a win. Let me get one of them at least. The Knicks, they'll be all right.
It's damn near bound to happen. It's real soon, Savage. Real soon. Man. Maybe this playoffs.
It might, man. So the Pistons want to fight the refs, but the league itself, they want to fight each other. Plenty of fights are going on in the league right now. I say fights in quotes, so let me put quotes around it. But it is starting to get warm outside, and normally in the springtime, Shitty, you in education, man. You know how it is once it get warm outside, kids start acting crazy, and I'd be damned if the league is starting to act crazy right now. So I actually want to start with your Miami Heat. I want to start with your Miami Heat, man. They had a little altercation last week with the Pelicans, and I'll play it right now.
Yes.
I mean, this is just
Zion took it away.
Here's the wrap-up right here. He falls down, and
it was not an overly hard foul.
It wasn't an overly hard foul, and this is when you're going to see the choke right there, and that sets up off Jimmy Butler. And all of a sudden, pandemonium.
So my thing is, don't choke me and then back up. Like, nah. Keep that same energy. As soon as you got people around you, you want to back up, man. No, man, let's. And you saw Jimmy. Jimmy was like, "Nah, let's go. I'm coming at you," which he got to, obviously. But like, he done choked this man. Like, come on, man. Go ahead, Sheik.
There's nothing, no formalities. For you to choke a man to man, like with your hand, that's weak as fuck. To be honest with you, I'm gonna start there with that. And second of all, even Zion came out and said, Kevin Love was trying to help him before he went down or whatever. So it wasn't like it didn't need to be that serious. Okay.
Yeah.
What I take from that is the Pelicans, you need something to wake you up. That was exactly what Miami needed to wake up. They're there now. So thank you. Because you see my boy Jaime coming up, not gonna be rookie of the year, but he'll be around.
He'll be in there somewhere.
But let's also, that is the fuel, the fire that Miami is already rolling. We out of the last 10 games, they were 8-2 in our last 10. And then to go on the road and still win the next game without him, Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, and a few others, we still won the game against the Kings. So I love it. It's just more fuel for us and more publicity, I guess, because no one watches Miami Heat basketball but me and a few others. But that was really weak, man. Like, to choke a man and then back up, to your point.
And back up. Nah, man.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't believe in this anyway, but if you're choking someone, I will use my offhand and then punch at the same time. But of course, they're not ready for that. So it is what it is.
I'm just happy like nothing really happened though, because if you think about it, I think that was Jimmy's first game back from personal reasons. So it's like, I'm on the court for whatever happened. You don't want this, bro. I'm ready to fight somebody. That's the energy I saw from Jimmy. So yeah, the Heat about to heat up. They're gonna be probably one of the better teams to watch in the second half, bro. Trust me.
I can't
Trust
wait,
me.
man.
And Terry Rozier finna turn up.
Yep. Jimmy actually tweeted, not tweeted, but he put on Instagram like the video of him walking out of the stadium, and was like, the caption said, "It's that time." And if you have watched the Heat, you know what time it is, man. Like, once it gets a little bit warm outside and the playoffs get closer, that's when the Miami Heat turn up. And they've been turning up the past 10, 12 games, man. Jaime Jaquez had 28 the other day?
Man, ball. Had Kevin Love coming off the bench, giving us about like 15 or 19.
19.
It was 19 points in 15 minutes and like 7 rebounds or something like that.
Like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
If I'm getting Cavs or Timberwolves, Kevin Love, even for like half of the game, like, come on. Come on, man.
Hey, Sheedy, real quick. I told you this was a better Heat team coming into the season. They 2.5 from number 4 in the East. What are we thinking?
No. We want, these are the seeds you want. 2, 3, 6, or 7. Okay. Those are the seeds that we want. So either we can get up to the 3 seed. We'll talk about this in a moment. We either get to the 3 seed or we stay solid at the 6.
Yes, sir. Please and thank you. Yes, sir.
Oh man, this podcast ain't ready for Bucks and Heat.
Shit. Speak for yourself.
Hey, I mean, I'm ready for it because look, Doc Rivers, I'm already there. I've let it go, but I know I'm gonna get dunked on by 2 because of Giannis losing to the Heat again. I already know. I'm gonna wait and see. I ain't gonna say nothing. The next squabble we had was a little bit further back, and that was with the Warriors and the Hornets. So I'll play that clip. For those, I don't have the audio, but it was towards the end of the game, and Lester Quinones
get him last
received the pass, and he tried to lay the ball up. Miles Bridges came from behind him and blocked the shot, or tried to block the shot. And then from there, we got some pushing, some shoving. You got Lester calling Miles Bridges a B word. You got Draymond calling him a PAN, getting on Grant Williams. Lot was going on in this clip, man. And as a Memphis fan, and first of all, let's go back. I was first on the bandwagon of Lester Quinones saying he was an NBA player. I said that back in like 2021. The dude can play basketball, and I'd be down. Again, we said on this podcast before he got that contract. And now he out here hooping, ready to fight somebody right now. Look at him right here. He's just going crazy. But how do y'all feel about getting scoring in the last second of the game when the game's out of hand? And to your point, Sheedy, you mentioned before we got on the show with Mike Conley and Dennis Schroeder, the shot clock was running down. There was still time on the game clock itself, as well as the shot clock. Pass got to Mike Conley. He took a 3. And Schroeder pushed him, I guess, mad because he's still trying to, quote unquote, run the score up. But in these instances, how do y'all feel about players still shooting the ball, even though the game out of hand?
I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't think defense was only supposed to go for 47 minutes and 50 seconds. Our coach defense to go for 48 minutes. So even you look at Lester Quinones, Mr. Guitar player himself, he was wide open. Yep. Mike Conley, wide open. These players are wide open. So the losing team is mad because the winning team is up and has the ball, and you expect them to have a turnover, which they don't want to do. I'd rather shoot at the rim than have a turnover. It's very simple math right there. And it's very simple for you to actually put a hand in the face and play some defense besides you're sulking because you're losing the game and the game is over with. So I'll leave it at that. That's simple.
Look, as long as you ain't doing the Jordan Bell throw it off the backboard dunk within the last seconds. Like, if it's a simple layup like that, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, game over. You should have won. Play better defense.
Shout out to Lester, man. Lester won. He wasn't going.
Man, I hope you take Moses Moody's spot, bro. I'm like, come on, Les. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Get that shooting up. He might be able to. For real. We need more opportunities, I would say.
Need more opportunities, yeah. And he can shoot. We've always know he can defend, he can rebound, he can play, mate. Just need the opportunity. But for him to basically show that he ain't scared of nobody, Grant Williams, a decent player that played well for Boston when he was there. I mean, and they played him too. They played them back Memphis versus Tennessee a couple of years ago. So he's aware of how Grant Williams is. But shout out to Lester, man, for not being scared. Last fight, I had to talk to you about this one, man, about Cam Newton. So to provide some background for the listeners, this ain't basketball related, but this is Took related. So he on this podcast. So I gotta ask him. Cam Newton hosted a 7-on-7 camp. I don't know where. I think it was in. I don't know if it was in Charlotte or Atlanta. I think it was Atlanta.
It was in Atlanta.
But yeah, he hosted a 7-on-7 football event. It's getting warm outside. It's time for 7-on-7 because that's what goes on in the spring for football. And I don't know if these guys were like kids or coaches or whoever they were, but they thought it was wise to try to jump Cam Newton. And then what proceeded to happen, as I'm about to show on the screen, what proceeded to happen is Cam Newton was laying paws on not one, not two, but three dudes. As you can see, Cam Newton handling his business, man. I think people forget that Cam Newton is like 6'5", 250 something pounds, man. Like, nobody could tackle this man in the open field when he was going downfield. And you trying to jump him. It takes 2-3 of y'all to jump this man. So what was your immediate thoughts about this?
It takes 2 of the 3 men to try to jump Cam Newton. Shout out to QB1 because if you look at it, he didn't throw any punches.
He didn't throw a punch at all.
He would have knocked one of them inwards out. But now,
one of those naysayers.
Naysayers. There we go. Appreciate it, Shitty. But a knock one of, like, come on, dog. Like, they just weak. But apparently, like, the story is Cam Newton was talking trash to him, but that's just Cam Newton. So I guess they were just soft in it and couldn't take the responses that he had. But there's some Cam always do. This is, of course, the culture that we live in. And, you know, if you feel like you got to attack Cam Newton or anybody, you kind of got to look at yourself in the mirror because instead of attacking, you should be listening to the crap, whether he talking BS about you or not. He'd have been there. He'd have done that. Listen to what he got to say and take advantage of the moment. Now, you want to be a fool and go viral for getting your ass with about 1-on-3, 1-on-4. Cool.
That's embarrassing.
Shout out to QB1, bro. This ain't nothing. Bad publicity is good publicity. All publicity. Shout out to QB1. Y'all ain't doing nothing but turning them up.
Hey, I wanted to retract my statement of saying that he wasn't a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Thank you.
His post career has been on point. I'm an avid supporter and listener of his podcast, the 4th and 1 podcast. Like, I listen to it as much as I can. Like, dude is legit. Like, he's like getting to the point where he's becoming that person, like that social media personality, after he's had a great, NFL career. And he's had a great NFL career. It's an MVP. Like, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Great NFL career. So for me, go put him in the Hall of Fame, man. I'm with it.
Thank you, Savage. Thank you, Savage. That means a lot. That means a lot.
Can I say real quick about this clip that you just shown? First of all, nobody's really throwing hands no more because there's no way that you sneak someone. No offense to Cam Newton, right? But if you sneak someone and they don't even like stumble, fall, or anything like that,
right? Nothing's
happening. And in this world of going viral all the time because of fights, I don't see nobody getting laid out no more. Nobody. Can't nobody fight no more. That's why
aside from in Birmingham. Was it Birmingham or Montgomery? Yeah, whatever it was.
It was somewhere where they got Negroes there, right? But the other point I wanted to add to this, and now this is me teaching you all, if you are about to get jumped, watch what don't re-show the clip, but watch the Cam Newton again, the way he gets his back to something, that way he can defend himself. Okay, that's very important in fighting. I know a few squabbles I've been a part of. You got to get your back to the wall, and then you got to fight back after that. So I'm just leave it at that right there.
He did the Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope, get against the ropes and take them punches or whatever they was trying to do. I don't even know. All right, before we get into the meat of the show, I did have one video that I tagged y'all in. This is basketball related. Mississippi Valley State is in the SWAC conference, HBCU school, and they got their first win of the season. And so I wanted to showcase the clip. And I just wanted to get y'all's reaction to what y'all hear and what y'all see.
That's game! And that will be game! And that will be game! And that's Downfield that first win! First win! We storm the court! And we're storming the court! We're storming the court! Oh my God! Oh my God! That's a complex! Delta Devils pick up their first win! Delta Devils pick up their first win! Shout out Coach Ivory! And the Delta Devils will improve to 1-27, 1-14. In a swag! What is you saying? The Mississippi Valley Delta Devils are currently on a 1-game winning streak.
First of all, 1-game win streak is crazy.
Yes.
1-game win streak is
Finally.
crazy.
1-game winning streak.
Second of all, 1-27. 1-27 on the season, bro. 1-14 in conference. But I'm actually happy for Valley. I'm glad they won that game. I think the guy's name, I forgot the other guy's name. I think it was Caleb or somebody. But the two announcers, hey, somebody signed them dudes, man, because they had me hyped for a 1-game win streak, bro. So shout out to Mississippi Valley State. What y'all think about that?
Hilarious, bro. Hilarious. Shout out to State, man. And just the energy. It's needed, bro. You finally win one. You got to storm the court. Because we didn't think we was going to win at all. But
that was not a storm of the court. That was a drizzle on the court. That was not a storm. It was about 20 people on the court. A storm was what happened to Duke.
Okay. You gotta work with what you gotta work with, bro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe next time it'll be 40. You know, they finally won one.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm just like, can you imagine having to be the commentators for 27 straight losses for your team, right? And so their excitement and them and this whole thing about storming the court anyways is going on in NCAA. Mm-hmm. But it was really a beautiful thing to see this happen the right way, even though it wasn't a storm, like I said, a drizzle for everybody. But again, shout out to the 1-game winning streak. Maybe they can take that in the next season, right? Because they shouldn't be playing for anything at this point.
At all.
But shout out to them for winning, man. And the commentators, to your point.
Right. Ryan said Detroit Mercy had like 2 people storm the court when they won their first game. I remember that. They had 2 people on the court, bro. But hey, shout out to the fans, man. Shout out to the fans, man, because you could easily have no fans there. Somebody there watching the game, man, whether it's a family member or a loved one, like that's what's up. So shout out to Mississippi Valley State, man. Shout out to y'all. Need some more wins though, for real. I don't need no 1-game win streaks.
Hey, Savage, before we move on real quick, in the spirit of squabble, I want to get y'all a quick 30-second opinion on what the hell is a big man.
Oh, God.
Because I look at the Grizz roster, and shout out to Sour Patch.
Oh, God.
And you know what I'm saying? And you squabble at 10:30 at night on what a big man is. And I look at the Grizz roster, and I say, damn. Do we really have one? Especially when Jaren Jackson, old rebounding ass. So, in y'all opinion, what is a big man and how many do the Grizz have? Just real quick.
Well, so first of all, a big man can be a 4 or a 5. Jaren is a 4. He just won DPOY last year. He averaged 3 blocks a game last year. Not as much this year because he's asked to do more on offense, and he's been playing well on offense this year, even though the Grizzlies have been losing. But we know this about Jaren. He's not a rebounder. He's not getting paid to rebound. He's getting paid to block shots, to deter shots, to go give me 20 points a game. And he's actually averaging a career high in rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, that's progress, because I was one of those rebound people like, hey, man, let me get at least 7 rebounds. Like, you a big man, grab a couple more. But after a while, I kind of accepted it. So a big man for me is obviously a tall NBA player that can block shots. So I've been on this podcast getting on DeAndre Ayton, who can't give me 1 block a game. So DeAndre Ayton, the I don't care bear, to me, he's a big man just based on looking at him, but he don't play like a big man. And so with Jaren, for at least some parts of his game, plays like a big man. So that's why I would call a big man.
Yeah, and to add on to like back to the basket type of big man, someone that you can see in the post as well. I'm as someone okay. Well, okay.
He said 4 or 5.
So what? Wait,
No,
yeah.
he said.
Yeah,
that's what I'm. Santi and Lamar. That's the keys to my thing. Jaren, he gonna do his thing. Santi 7-foot ass is not.
Santi's to me. Santi's a small forward.
He's a small wing. And Lamar is 6'7". So again, do the Grizzlies have any big man? Just a simple question that apparently ruffled some feathers. I didn't think it was gonna ruffle feathers. But yeah, we're a basketball podcast, and apparently we're having trouble on figuring out what exactly a big man is. Just because you're 7 feet, Kevin Durant, don't mean you're a center or quote unquote big man. Okay. That's just all I was saying.
Can I also add to this as well? In the way that in the spirit of the game now, thanks Steph Curry, we're shooting long distance threes. Sometimes the big men are not going to get the rebounds like they would if they're like literally on the block. So you're seeing a lot more guards, wings carry more of a load of rebounds. I see that with Miami a lot, like how, Grizzlies. Like for sure, you would take the under with Bam's points and rebounds, right? All playoffs, because he was a big man, was not getting you the rebounds, right? Because it was sprinkled across everyone else because of his role and what he does. I think that's kind of the same thing for Triple J for Memphis. And, I've always said the reason why he's so good defensively is because he was not that 5. Because you had Steven Adams, because you had JV. Yeah, he was exactly free safety in, blocking shots like he was, and then leak out and get the rebounds. Well, leak out and get shots, but he is not the 5. And unfortunately, he's playing that role just due to where the Grizzlies are at. And so that's really on Coach Jenkins, if you want to be honest, and setting up the players and the rosters. Well, you got to play with what you got, but again, Santi 7 foot, he's not really a center. He shoots too much. He's outside. He's like an underdeveloped Brook Lopez.
Oh shit! That's damn.
I mean, think about it. What does Brook Lopez do? He shoots.
But you know what though, Brook Lopez, his game evolved once he got to Milwaukee. Like he became an elite shot blocker, an elite 3-point shooter, and he was not doing that at Stanford. Wasn't doing that in Brooklyn. So can Santi do that? I doubt it, because he ain't Brook Lopez. He was never nowhere near Brook Lopez. But that's a fair point too. If you're asking for the purposes of other players who are 7 feet tall but don't play like a big man, so that's fair.
If I'm not scared to get hit by a screen by you, you're not a big man.
Okay.
I don't want Russell running into me. I'll tell you that.
Nah.
Right.
All right. Thanks, fellas. Y'all the best.
Okay. Don't kill us, Candy, please.
Sour Patch.
Right. We love your support. Don't do it.
That's all. That's all.
So for this episode, we're going to discuss the X factors for going into the playoffs for the top 6 teams in each conference. Of course, I want to update what the standings are. At this point, I'm doing 1 through 10. So 1 through 10 out east is Boston, Cleveland, Milwaukee, New York, Philadelphia, Miami. Indiana kind of dipped down into their play-in now. They've been losing games. Orlando, Chicago, and Atlanta out east. Out west, we've got Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Denver, Clippers, Phoenix, New Orleans, Sacramento, Dallas, LA Lakers, and the Golden State Warriors. So let's get right into NBA X factors. Y'all want to start out east, or y'all want to go out west?
I say sunrise in the east. So let's go east, I guess.
Let's start with the east. So for the Boston Celtics, my X factor for them going into the playoffs is going to have to be the guy they brought in to put them over the top. It is Kristaps Porzingis. Now, that being said, Kristaps Porzingis has played well this year. The Boston Celtics actually have 3 20-point scores, and that's what they're going to need because that's what they wanted last year. They didn't have an additional score when there were games where JT wasn't playing well, Jaylen Brown was playing well. They need that other threat on the court to go get 20 points. And as far as this season is concerned, KP has been healthy. And so for me, if he can stay healthy going to the playoffs, they have the number 3 ranked defense. I'm never worried about defense with the Boston Celtics. Never worried about it. But offensively, can they continue to score more points than the other team, which means they win in the game? They're going to need KP to do that. So I got KP. That's my X factor.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I will. I toggle between 2 of them, but I just give you who I toggle through a couple of people with all these lineups and that we were doing. But anyways, I'll get right to it. My X factor to me on this team is Derek White. His game has continued to evolve from the playoffs last season. I remember watching the game. I can't remember, they were losing the game by like 15 to 17 points. But the way he's able to get into spacing offensively to help his team even kick it back out, he is going to score when Brown is not doing it for you, because there were a lot of games in the playoffs where Brown did not deliver. And that's where I was like, man, Brown really should be the X factor because he didn't show up. But when he didn't show up, who was there? Derek White was there. So I'm going to go with D. White.
Literally, he took your words out of my mouth, but I'm going with Jaylen Brown specifically for what you just said. He was a no-show last year. And when you have the team that you have, which is probably the best team that the Celtics don't have, just in and out, I would have said the Drew Holidays for sure. But when you're looking to be one of the highest paid players in the league and Jason Tatum is going to deliver, we know that. We know Drew Holiday is going to come and play, do what he's supposed to. KP, Savage, that would have been mine, which is a great one. He's going to come produce. But Jaylen Brown, you're literally going to be looked at as like, it's time for you to step up now. So we don't need no 13 points, 14 points in the playoffs. We need that dog. We need people like me who said that at one point you're better than Jason Tatum. I need to see that Jaylen Brown in the playoffs in order for them not only to make the NBA Finals again, but for them to actually win. So mine would be Jaylen Brown.
Bet. Next up is Cleveland Cavaliers. This is where I got Darius Garland. He's averaging 18 points a game, and they have, I think, the top ranked defense in the league. If I'm not mistaken, either 1 or 2, one of them. And I think that's due in part not because of their backcourt, but the front court and their wing defenders as well too. My thing is for Darius Garland, they're going to need his scoring in addition to Donovan Mitchell once the game plan locks in on Spider. Like once you lock it down, Spider, Darius Garland, what are you going to do? We know he can score 50 points. He's done it before. But can you do that when you got to play defense? You got to guard Damian Lillard. You got to guard Terry Rozier. You're getting defended by Drew Holiday. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still iffy on Darius Garland, even though they're the number 2 seed. But I got to see it from Darius Garland this year. So I think he's my X factor.
This is a perfect segue. Before I give you my X factor, perfect segue to what I want to say. And this both 2 things can be true. I believe the Cavs will be not in the playoffs that long, but also the disrespect to not have Donovan Mitchell in the MVP talks right now is ridiculous. They are the 2nd seed in the last 25 games. They probably won at least 20 of those games, but there's no talk about that. There's a push for Jason Tatum. Yes. Yep. There's Luka talk all the time, but they are the 2nd seed in the East. And they've been winning games without Darius Garland. Yep. But Donovan Mitchell can't get no love, so I'll leave that alone. But anyways, my X factor for the Cavs is actually going to be Evan Mobley. Again, I'm thinking about last playoffs. They got bitched in that paint. And so Evan Mobley, to me, is the only one that has the ability to like put something on his body a little bit, and he hasn't really gained that much muscle, so to speak, as opposed to Big Fro. But I think Evan Mobley is my X factor defensively and offensively to not get himself into a position where they are in trouble. Because at the 2nd seed right now, it's a playing scenario. You really don't know who you'll play until that playing scenario starts. But you cannot get bitched again in the paint, brother.
Nope. I think specifically for that reason, Sheedy, Jared Allen, who's my X factor, he's played like he's had a chip on his shoulder all season. And his playmaking is something that's not talked about. Because like when Evan Mobley did go out and Darius Garland went out for a series of time, he was kind of looking like a big ass Bam Adebayo off the break. So that was exciting to see just watching the Cavs games that I did see. So I think, of course, you can't get punked in the paint again. That's going to be key for them. And I think Evan Mobley and Jared Allen have something to do with that. But I think Jared Allen's playmaking will be an X factor going forward.
Mm. Jared Allen's one of those players that I thought he was 7 feet tall, bro. 6'9". He plays so much bigger than what you think he is on the court. And it might be the afro as well.
I was about to say, might be the afro.
All right, for Milwaukee Bucks. So my X factor is not Chris Middleton. It's not
God.
It's not Bobby Portis. Mine is Malik Beasley, man. The Bucks need that third player. And Middleton is obviously not suited to be as good as he once was when Giannis was down a couple years ago. Not down, but when he wasn't actually carrying as much as he needs to carry into the finals. But I think Malik Beasley is averaging a career high in 3-point percentage. That's 45%. He played well for the Lakers. He played well for the Nuggets. He's played well for the Jazz in his previous stops. And so Milwaukee needs him to knock down that three and give you like 12 to 15 points, maybe even more in the playoffs, depending on if Dame is going to play well, So Malik Beasley for me is the X factor for Milwaukee.
You said him. My X factor is going to be Damian Lillard. You don't go all in to get him $60 million a season. It was what he'll get paid. Drew Holiday, who you let go in the trade. Damian Lillard has got to show up in the playoffs for you. I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying he has to. Yeah. And I know that's a big name star. As an X factor, I really don't care. But there's been some games where he was cold, and this is the regular season. And it is what it is. I know Pat Bev was even telling him, like, hey man, we need you to shoot. And Pat Bev said something very, very stoic that I hope people understand. When it comes to playoffs, those star players, Damian Lillard, Giannis, and I'm just talking about the Bucks right now, are going to get more shots. Yeah. And those role players are not going to get as many opportunities. So we need to learn how this is going to work. And I don't know if Damian Lillard is there yet because he hasn't had recently another star next to him to the capability of Giannis. So Damian Lillard is my guy.
Let y'all in on a little secret, bro. The reason that I'm president and CEO of the Bucks fan club is that on 2K, and I know it's a game, trust me, but I'm literally unbeatable with the Bucks. So it hurts me to see them get their asses kicked in the first round. It hurt. So my X factor is gonna be Damian Lillard because now the playoff time is when Dame time is supposed to be here. If Giannis, respectfully, Beasley, Middleton, all of them shoot the goddamn ball. The same way you went in Indiana crib and shot 23 threes in the All-Star game, it need to be the same shit you do in the playoffs, or y'all will be getting y'all asses kicked in the first round. And I believe that the first part of the season was Dame still adjusting to playing with Giannis and everybody else, because I'm not going to disrespect them. They are a good team, but they should be great. And in order for them to be great, which probably won't happen because the coach they just hired, but if there's that chance that, Pat Beverly said, hey, I'm going to take Dame out to dinner. We're going to talk about this shit. We need to understand how we going to get the rebound after you shoot these 40-footers you finna be shooting. That's how we going to win. So again, shout out to Pat Bev, who's an X factor as well. But we see Dame Lillard in Portland destroy teams. He ended the Thunder. We need that same energy on this Bucks team, or again, y'all will be having y'all asses at home after the first round. Dame Lillard.
That's a damn good point too. I ain't mad at that. That's a damn great point. I'm surprised you playing with Milwaukee on 2K.
I'm cold as hell. I'm cold as hell.
Y'all two need to play each other. Y'all two need to play each other.
Look. Dame Adams is cold as hell with the Pelicans. Shout out to Damian Adams. Ask what I did to him. Of course he is. Ask what I did to him.
You beat? Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask what I did to him. Okay. Okay. All right. New York Knicks. This guy, he's still on the mend right now, but I got OG. OG is the guy that's going to be the difference. I mean, you traded for him in place of RJ Barrett. He is known for his defense. I mean, you had the Grizzlies that was ready to trade 3-4 first round picks to get OG, and obviously that price kind of diminished, as the season went on. But OG was playing well for New York while he was, not injured. But they brought him there to be that defensive stopper for against the other team's best player. You already got Brunson. Randall is there as well too, who could also be an X factor. But for me, it's going to be OG Anunoby because you're going to need not only his defense but also those 3-point shots as well too.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I love that. That was again toggling between players. I took Josh Hart on this one. Josh Hart plays over 40 minutes a game. I think he played like 41, 42 the other game. He is the epitome of what Tom Thibodeau coaches. And so he locks in with the coach. He plays his role. And if Josh Hart is scoring, I don't know, north of 15 points, watch out because that means everybody else is on a heater too. And if he's not, he's getting rebounds and being selfless about those as well. So for me, my pick is Josh Hart for the New York Knicks.
Good pick, y'all. Mine will be Julius Randle, believe it or not, because I believe in the playoff time, we're going to be seeing Jalen Brunson take over in the ways that Iverson did with the Sixers. So it's going to be type of, hey, give me the ball, get the hell out the way. So if Julius Randle can find things to do outside of scoring that can help the team win, whether that's rebounding and assisting, which he already does. But if he can turn it up just a notch and not care so much about scoring, I think it'll make the Knicks that much better, especially on the defensive end as well. I think it'll make the Knicks that much better.
Have they said when he's supposed to come back yet?
I can check on that.
I was like, I don't know when because they gonna need him, man. Like, which sounds crazy to say from me as somebody who, I support left-handed players, but I've been the one that said Julius Randle is a 6-man, hiding as a starter right now. But he can hoop. He obviously can go get 20, 25 points, and they need him in addition to Jalen Brunson. They need him to be that bully that he was against Cleveland, as Sheedy mentioned earlier, against Evan Mobley.
So they're still trying to figure out if his season ended or not.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's tough. They need him, man.
Yeah.
They need him. Speaking of that, Philadelphia minus Embiid's health. It can't. There's nothing I say about that. And with him, I think it's worse than what they let known. I think it's a wrap. If I was him, I would go ahead and shut it down. He was having an MVP caliber year, which is sad to say, but it's a big man with a lot of weight on his legs and the way that he plays, where he's ball dominant. He's doing a lot of movement with his legs, and it's an X factor because it plays a huge part. It's the catalyst for everything else that Philadelphia does. Tyrese Maxey is amazing, but Sheedy Yo guy, Tobias Harris, he ain't it. He should never be a second or third option. He is going to be an amazing fourth option, but as number 3 and number 2, no deal. So Embiid's health is my X factor, and it ain't looking good for Philadelphia.
No, and anyone around Joel Embiid and anyone that cares about the Philadelphia 76ers should be on the same trend of shutting him down until next year. Because, ladies and gentlemen, even I'm going to say this right now, even with a healthy Joel Embiid, whenever he were to come back, I still don't see this team making it out of the East regardless. And so, because I don't think he's fully healthy, to your point. My X factor is someone that came from here, Kyle Lowry. Lowry plays exceptional during playoff time. He makes great passes. He plays defense well. He will foul you and make you upset on some Dennis Rodman type deal. Do I expect them? I don't know if this team will even make the playoffs, to be honest. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But if they are to be there, they're going to need him because he also has that relationship with Nick Nurse, by the way, who's their coach. So he knows what Nick Nurse wants, and he's going to help develop Tyrese Maxey. Whatever happens this year, Philadelphia, wrap it up. It's okay. Yeah. Develop and move on. And who knows? Are y'all going to keep Buddy, by the way? Because his contract is over after this season. So what's going to be done?
I told y'all Philly finna have the most money in cap space, so watch out. As much as I do want to name Tobias Harris, he's already showed us who he is. A model of inconsistency, 30 points one game, 7 the next.
Model of inconsistency, my God.
A model of him and Spencer. They the same players. I mean, because we know what Tobias Harris is supposed to be. Tobias could easily put up 20 a game. And of course he is, like I said, with just inconsistent. So my X factor would be Paul Reed. He's the middle. Basketball Paul. He'll be holding down the middle, getting the boards, whoever they face in the playoffs, if they do still happen to make it. He's going to have to go against a Bam or a Porzingis or a Giannis for 4 games. Good luck. Good luck. So I mean, Paul Reed, if he can turn up, who knows? But I got the Sixers done for the year.
Okay. Shout out to Fat Boy Fadeaway. Injuries are part of the game, but man, what a waste of opportunity for the Sixers this year, man. Yeah, they literally were on a tear until Embiid had a tear. You know,
had a tear. That's not funny, but damn. Funny, but damn.
Oh man. Next up, Shitty's Miami Heat. My X factor is put every player on the wall, get you a dart, and then throw it. That's my X factor. That's my X factor. Just pick whoever you want to pick for that day. It might be Haywood Highsmith. It might be Nikola Jovic. It might be Jaime Jaquez. It might be Terry Rozier. It might be who else on the roster? I don't know who else. Who the 18th man on the roster? It could be him.
Hey man, it could be Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant.
Double. Let him get a double.
But yeah, I'm dead serious. Just throw a dart on the wall, and whoever you land on, there you go. X factor.
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, I like that. I couldn't agree more. Right?
Yeah, I actually like that.
I'm just going to throw this one out there. To me, the X factor is going to be Tyler Hero. We've experienced the playoffs without him. Yes, I don't want him to fall. Injuries are a part. But we've made our way to the finals without him. We made it to these conference finals without him. What can we do with him? And so I juggle with a lot because I feel like Jaime is going to be balling too. And he's going to be a good part of what we need for the playoffs. But anyways, I'm going to stick with Tyler Hero.
I ain't mad at that one at all. I said it when he got there. Scary Terry is definitely mine. Everything you said about Tyler Hero last year not being there and that he's still having success can be the same thing about Terry. Like easy 20 points, whether he come off the bench or not. I'm pretty sure he's still gonna be starting. But just that extra scoring punch to do that much, I'm excited to see in the playoffs. But Hero's a good one too.
Duncan Robinson coming off.
The fact they get Terry Rozier without giving up Tyler Hero just blows my mind still. I'm like, I mean, he's not an all-star, but like he damn near like on the cusp, like CJ McCollum.
He a hooper.
Like, man.
Yeah, balling. He's coming back soon.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Okay. Let's go out west, man. First up is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mine is I'm gonna say Memphis Mike, not Minnesota Mike, because they be calling him Minnesota. I don't like that. I don't like him calling Minnesota Mike. So I'm gonna say Memphis Mike Conley. He's been there before. He's battle tested. He's playoff tested. He's a savvy veteran. He's gonna be the one they look to if they want to go deep into the playoffs. Because again, Mike Conley has been there. Ant-Man has not been there. Cat hasn't really been there. Rudy Gobert, he's kind of been there a little bit, but not enough to have, respect compared to like Mike Conley. So Mike Conley's going to be the guy that has to control the offense. He's have to be the conductor that he was for the Grizzlies and do the same thing for the Timberwolves. So Mike Conley for me is the X factor.
Got you. And I've apologized to Timberwolves, so I won't apologize again. But I'm gonna go Naz Reid here. For the Timberwolves. They got those 3 big men. Eventually, I believe they're going to stagger that lineup a little bit more. I don't know, Finch. You might not. But Naz Reid's ability to score is very underrated compared to other backup centers in the league, or power forwards or forwards, whatever Candy likes. But Naz Reid, for me, is the X factor for the Timberwolves besides the obvious ones.
And real quick, shout out to Coach Finch. He been coaching his ass off. I can't get mad. I can get mad this year. He been coaching his ass off, but hey, it's gonna be time real soon because when we run to them Golden State Warriors in the first round, I just want to see Finch. I just want to see. Go ahead, Tony.
Specifically for that reason alone is why I kind of don't have Rudy Gobert getting much PT because we see what the traditional big man does in the playoffs and how coaches don't use them. So that being said, picking Nas Reed was a great one. Definitely would have been mine. I'm gonna go with Cat. For the same reason that you picked Nas Reed. It's go time for you, dog. You got stamped by me as the best big man shooter that ever played. Now it's time to show it. Ant-Man gonna do what he do in the playoffs. That's why he, of course, I ain't want to put as an X factor, even though he could be with his scoring and everything he could do outscoring. But Cat, you gonna be that second dude. You gonna be that second dude. Mike Conley was a great pick, and I definitely understand everything what you said. Memphis Mike is gonna be what's needed for them to succeed. But Cat, we looking at you, dog, because we know what this team can do without you. So let's see. Rudy Gobert ain't gonna be getting no PT, that much PT in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think he's gonna get played off the court, just kind of like how Steven Adams was. Like, I mean, yeah, you're a great defensive player during the season, but again, if you run to Golden State Warriors and it's Draymond Green, you getting played off the court. You getting played off. He gonna pull you out to the elbow area because Draymond gonna run the show on offense, which leads to backdoor cut. Cat ain't blocking nobody shot like that. Cat ain't defend nobody like that. So when you got cutters like Kuminga and Pods and Moody, you getting played off the court. So hey. All right, Rudy. So I'm gonna say it's all right. He might win DPOY again and then get played off the court again. Like,
Damn.
That's crazy to me, bro. Like, how can you be a Hall of Fame player if you get played off the court on defense and you get like 4 DPOIs? Like, I don't understand that. But hey, I ain't
Hall of Fame, like you said,
2024. 2024.
Next up, another young team, OKC Thunder. Mine is gonna be Chet Holmgren. Because in the playoffs, the game is significantly more physical. Chet is great. He might be an already elite shot blocker, but the game is a different game once you get into April, May, and June, man. And Chet is still technically a rookie, even though it's his second year in the league. He's his first year playing. Seeing him go up against some physical big man is going to be a challenge for him. And they need him, in addition to SGA and Jalen Williams, to be that defensive anchor. So I want to see that from Chet Holmgren going to the playoffs. So he's my X factor.
Yeah, mine's actually, ironically, I watched a clip of this guy maybe yesterday or maybe today. I don't even remember. And this was in the bubble, and his shot got blocked.
The bubble?
Yeah, damn. In the bubble, right? And that's the last time, realistically, the OKC Thunder really were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. And so my guy actually today is going to be Lou Dort. James Harden blocked his shot at the end of the game, of all people, showing defense.
He played defense?
Exactly. Now, Lou Dort, speaking of defense, plays defense. And he's going to be needed for a lot of assignments out west because it's really guard heavy. And he's going to need to be, I'm not going to call it the stopper, but he's going to need to at least defend as good as he can. Against you look at all of the West has guards, even Jamal Murray, who's not an all-star, but should be, close to, he's not gonna be all NBA, but there's guards on every team. Lou Dort is going to have to take the best guard every time. So Lou Dort or the wing.
Good picks. So apparently the NBA ain't gonna do shit about the Giddey situation, meaning he's gonna play for the rest of the season, meaning he'll play in the playoffs.
He ain't played well this year. He ain't been playing well, so
he ain't played well, but still. When it comes down to it, he's my X factor. When you talk about X factor, he'll literally do everything that's needed. He does everything that's needed to be done to win the game. Whether that's crashing the boards, making an extra pass, even scoring. His numbers are down for sure. Like I had him being a top 10 shooting guard this season, and whether those allegations got to him or not, we don't know. Whether playing with Chet has been an adjustment for him as well. Who knows? His numbers are down, but I think when it comes to playoff time, he gonna have to make a name for himself in a better way, I guess, because like I said, the NBA gave him a second chance, gave him a slap on the wrist, so he better do something with it or shit, we gonna be on his ass. So I mean, I still respect him on the court.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, he can hoop, but
yeah,
other stuff going on.
It's swept under the rug, so if they ain't gonna say nothing about it, I ain't gotta keep bringing it up, even though we should.
At this point, I've let it go. And so we gonna move on from it. Denver Nuggets. Mine's gonna be Christian Brown, who is gonna be in place of Bruce Brown, who's now with where is he at now? Toronto. He got talks
somewhere, yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah, mine's gonna be Christian Brown. Can he continue on what he did last year? Because he was coming off the bench, having great games, playing great defense. Kind of be like a D'Anthony Melton type player. I'm gonna get stocks, steals, blocks, make some threes, some fast break points. They basically just they've been coasting this whole NBA season. To be honest, I mean Murray hasn't had a great year, but we know that Murray is kind of like Kurt Schilling in the playoffs, where it's like it's time to turn it on. it's time to turn it on.
What a reference!
So Jamal Murray is going to turn on at some point, but I think Christian Brown has to be that guy off the bench, because that honestly, that's what it was against the Miami Heat and even the Lakers. That killed them was having these other guys coming in and doing well. I mean, Joker's still an amazing player, but you still have to make your shots when you cut into the basket and when you're sitting in the corner. So for me, it's Christian Brown.
Yeah, this team, again, toggling between two players. I guess I will actually name Aaron Gordon this time.
God damn it, she.
I'll let you go first next time. How about that? But Aaron Gordon, he showed what he could do defensively in the playoffs last season, along with not being a liability on offense. It's not just about, you think of Aaron Gordon, you really just think about him winning dunk contests or being a part of dunk contests. When actuality, his offensive game back to rim is not too bad. But for him to pick up the pieces defensively, really, really good come playoff time. So I'm going to give it to him. I mean, I got somebody if you needed to. I know another player.
I got one. You know me. I do this, bro. Chill. Mine will be Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson coming off the bench, just that extra 10, 11 points a game in the playoffs. It means something. You talk about Christian Brown, who definitely was going to be mine. Aaron Gordon was going to be my second. So, I'll let y'all do y'all thing with them. But which are great picks. Everything you said about Christian Brown is going to be needed, because Bruce Brown, there was some times where he saved the game. He saved a couple games. So you get that energy from Brown, and then you also get that energy from scoring from Reggie Jackson. So I liked everything.
All right. LA Clippers. I mean, it has to be James Harden, right? It must get James Harden.
Shit. Somebody show us who he is. We gotta believe him, but he can't be no damn X Factor.
It has to be James Harden, because if James Harden doesn't get the playoff yips, nobody beating the Clippers, because Kawhi is healthy, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man,
we have seen
so
Kawhi
true.
Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. I mean, that's an X Factor, true enough, but I think he's healthy, which is that's helpful. If Paul George gets healthy, that's gonna be helpful. And then I get James Harden, who, if he plays well and plays like I think he leads the league in assists, right? I think he's up there in assists. If I get that version of James Harden, who's gonna make 3-pointers, gonna give me some assists and not be fat on defense, James Harden for me, man. And I doubt it happens because it's James Harden, but it can go either way depending on that particular player, which to me that's what the X factor is. Like if it goes this way, it's because of James Harden. So I'm going with the beard.
I'm gonna let 2 go. I'm gonna take his pick again.
There we go. Russ for 6th man of the year. Couldn't agree more. I can't go James Harden, because if somebody shows me who they are for their whole career, that's the one thing, for everything you just said, which is 100,000% true. If James Harden played like he's supposed to, and he's number 6 in assists, ain't nobody beating the Clippers. Nobody. But yeah. So my pick would be Russell Westbrook. You talk about an X factor. Once anybody come out, Russ, come on in, do what you're supposed to do what you need to. But just overall, be that emotional leader that he's been, since he's put on the Clippers uniform. Even when we talk about the selflessness of him coming off the bench for Harden, that kind of energy is needed. That kind of trust in your teammate is needed. So that he's just an X factor period on his team. And I think going forward, it's going to be even more. Especially if Harden, which I believe is going to take a step back in the playoffs because that's what he do. Russ would be right there to pick everybody back up.
Yeah, that's my daughter's scream.
She agreed. She agreed with me. She agreed.
Wow.
She agreed.
And the other thing about this too, about James Harden, I'll give you my X factor. If James Harden is not playing well, it's okay to put him on the bench. This is not the same James Harden that Houston. Like when Houston was not playing well, you couldn't really bench James Harden because he's your star player. This lineup and the team that they have gives you the ability to say, hey, you know what, James? You're not feeling it tonight. You're not giving us what we need. Go ahead, hit the bench for him. Hit the pine one time. But I will say my X factor actually is going to be Kawhi Leonard. I know it's the man can do everything that you need him to do, and he can carry that team if everyone else was not healthy. That's in my honest opinion. Kawhi Leonard is still, when healthy, one of the best players in the league, but we're not going to talk about him because of the team that surrounds him. If Paul George can drag these Clippers to the Western Conference Finals, think about what's going to happen when you add a player such as the caliber of Kawhi Leonard, who is healthy and playing good basketball for me. So I'm going to say Kawhi Leonard. This team will go as far as Kawhi can take them. And to me, they're going to come out the West.
A healthy Kawhi can be the best player in the NBA.
Absolutely. 100%.
So
100%. That's like a Jordan robot for real. Real quick,
better
y'all.
defense, by the way.
Right. Real quick, y'all. I'm not saying this is what the injury is that I just saw, but Anthony Edwards, it looked like an Achilles. It looked like it. They're saying ankle injury, apparent ankle injury. It low key looked like an Achilles, based on how he was grabbing his foot. I don't know, but it looked like an Achilles. They said ankle, but to me, don't
say
know.
that.
So
yeah,
yeah,
that hurts.
All
This
right,
one of the time the basketball guys ain't had to give us no kind of news on this.
man.
Dang. Yeah.
All right, Phoenix. Mine's Brad Beal, man. Like he had been killing, just like with the scoring. And I need him to continue to do that into the playoffs in a meaningful game. We know Book can do it. We know KD can do it. If you get in all three, we talked about unstoppable. I mean, offensively, you ain't stopping the Phoenix Suns on offense anyway. I saw Nurk had a great game with like 19, 20, and 10, some crazy stat line he had the other day. But Brad Beal is going to be the guy. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. So Brad Beal is my X factor.
Yeah, for me, think about, again, Suns last season in the playoffs. There was a game where Devin Booker had 80%, and then the next game it was like 75%, right? But then they lose one of those games. I think it was the second game maybe.
Yeah.
That they lost. So to me, it's actually not going to be Bradley Beal. My X factor is actually going to be Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel is supposed to be a good defensive person. You don't need to coach these guys about offense. You got three players that will get you at least 75 points every night, guaranteed. What you need is, what is there going to be the defensive scheme set up to get you past the first round and second round with this amazing talent that you already have on offense. So I'm going to go, I mean, he's still part of the team, Frank Vogel, but him and whatever schemes he can come up with, look what he did in the bubble with the Lakers and making sure that they won the championship. So Frank Vogel for me.
I just want to say that y'all are some good quote-unquote analysts, and I appreciate being on this podcast. Both answers are absolutely great. Absolutely great. I'm definitely going Bradley Beal for sure, because the reason that they brought him in was because you can't double Kevin Durant no more. You can't double Devin Booker no more. None of that shit finna happen. And you saw them get one. I know it's just one playoff win. I know against the defending champions. I get it. But they were on to something when they happened. And Bradley Beal in the playoffs again is gonna make. That's what I've been telling everybody from out here. Y'all losing. Suns been losing. They winning out, picking up everything because the health. Once you get in the playoffs and everybody's healthy, I'm telling you, they're outside of the Clippers, they're gonna be the team to watch. And of course, I'll be there. Rooting.
All right, last team is the New Orleans Pelicans. Mine is gonna be. I'm ready to see Brandon Ingram, man. I'm ready to see him be that killer that I know he is. I've loved him as a player since he was with Duke, to be honest. But Duke, and then with the Lakers, and then now with the Pelicans, we know the man is a literal walking bucket. And so now what I'm curious about is I want to see who is going to be the matchup as far as like the team, and then what are you going to do when it's time for you to get a bucket? Because he's been, in my opinion, the better player on the team than Zion. Zion's played well. He's been healthy, which is great. But I still think that Brandon Ingram is going to be the guy that controls what the offense is. He's a playmaker. He can play defense when he needs to play defense. He was great defensively with the Lakers a couple years ago. But offensively is what we got to see. So I'm ready to see Brandon Ingram be that quote-unquote Kevin Durant Jr. in the playoffs, to where he gets the ball and you ain't stopping him going to the goal. So give me Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I'm going to double down on Brandon Ingram's stock as well, because it was a statement that he made about why he wasn't selected for the All-Star team
Your
was
dog, man.
because he said all these coaches are sending doubles to me. If there's such a coach's pick, why am I not there? Got it. I'm not going to forget it, Brandon Ingram. So prove it. When the lights are the brightest, when there's nothing else for us to watch, because they don't play 2 games at the same time, it is your turn now, Brandon Ingram, to take over. And it's going to be a deciding factor about how the Pelicans move forward, because they've been very stagnant. And now if you have both Brandon Ingram and Zion healthy, what does this mean for the Pelicans moving forward? And I believe the ball's in the court of the older one, which is Brandon Ingram. Do we keep him, or does his trade value go up because it does well? Good night, baby. Or does it go down? So keep it at that.
Y'all said exactly what Dame said about the Pelicans, which is 1,000% true about Brandon Ingram. I can't wait to see him turn up. But I think this could be an opportunity for Zion to get his claim back, because coming into the NBA, I wasn't the biggest Zion fan, not because of who he was on the court or off the court, but it was because of the publicity that he was getting. He ain't done a damn thing, and he's given the world to. I don't care if it was Zion, whoever it was, I'm just, that's just not me. You got to work for this shit. So, this is an opportunity. Like you said, she did the lights are brightest. We expect B.I. to show up, but Zion, you were once about to be the face of the league. You need to get that kind of energy back. Now, if you can, cool. If you can't, cool. But you the X factor, bro. Like, he's still leading the team in points. And shout out to JJ Redick for doing a video of him like actually running point, like point for Zion. Which watch out league if that's becoming a thing. You know what I'm saying? So X factor for me, it'll be Zion. It'll be Zion. But Bi, we watching you for sure. And I think that he definitely got the talent and the instinct to get it done.
No doubt. What'll be crazy is that right now the matchup for them will be against the Denver Nuggets, which I think that's a good matchup defensively. I mean, they still got KCP, you got Aaron Gordon, so they will send some bodies at him. But I mean, I remember that game against the Grizzlies where I think it was second or third quarter, he was just, you could not defend anything about that. He's 6'9", 6'10", lanky as hell, and he rises up high when he shoots, man. It's a hard cover, man. It's a real hard cover. Before we get up out of here, too, the Golden State Warriors did beat the Washington Wizards 123-112. Jordan Poole, pool party, 5-17, 2 for 8 from 3.
Off the bench, right?
Yes. However, he was +8. He was +8 and plus minus. So
praise God.
Technically, he won his minutes.
Praise God. Here you go, Tuga. I'm going to give you. I'm sorry. I'll say it first and foremost. That man averages about 14 points a game right now. He's never going to average 20 this season or over 20, 25, whatever we said. I mean, Lord have mercy. I mean, you saw that at the beginning of the season, but thank God for putting him on the bench. He's actually a little bit better, actually, with his plus minus because of such.
Y'all thought that this man was going to put up 25 points a game?
He put up 20 last year with the Warriors.
With the Warriors when he's a fourth option at best.
He still put up 20.
That's a point. Yeah. So now he becomes the number one option. We expect
more shots.
Him. Yes.
I'll say more shots, more points. I mean,
more opportunities.
Yeah, but people are also going to be like on him now, like doubling and sending the best defenders and everything too. So
fair enough.
Fair
enough. I just wanted to update you, man. I just want to update you about your boy Jordan Poole. The Wizards are still 9-49. So they ain't doing no better. And I fully expect them to trade Jordan Poole somewhere. I think he has value somewhere, but
how much you getting paid?
And who's going to take it?
It's
exactly.
A lot. It's a lot. And Poole been close for 2 years.
Exactly. No, he's gonna have a whole come to Jesus moment or something for him to get traded. Don't nobody want no Jordan Poole.
Can't say Ant-Man's back. Okay,
thanks, Andy.
It looked like an Achilles, man, because he was grabbing at like the back of his leg on foot. I was like, oh Lord. So okay, that's good.
Appreciate it, Candy. Thank you.
Ant-Man is good. Okay, cool. All right, man. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, we won't be having a live stream afterwards, but comment below your thoughts on the show. So stay safe, be blessed. Peace.